An interesting question I get sometimes is where do you see yourself in like 10 years, 20 years? But not like in the normal sense, mainly in referral to like, you know, YouTube as a website. Like, where do you think it's going to be in like 10 years, 20 years? And we got this topic recently over on Patreon on when me and Tyler came back to an episode of Clubhouse, um, which, great fun. Um, but it got me thinking about it, and I thought it would be nice to do a little commentary on it. Playing Brotherhood today, as you can see. Like I said in the last video, if you want to get in on some Assassin's Creed multiplayer, people playing Brotherhood all the time, which is crazy. Hit the link in the description. Head over to the AC multiplayer revival server and join us. It'd be fun. Um, I did semi well this game. Like I was trying to get back into it. Also, I hadn't set up my controller yet, so I was playing with a keyboard and mouse, and I'm like cat-handed with a keyboard and mouse, especially when it comes to third-person games, and especially Assassin's Creed. So, forgive me for that. I think I did fine, all things considered. Um, but yeah, the idea that what's going to happen in this website? Is it finite? Are its days numbered? I don't know because there is no precedent, right? Like that's the thing about YouTube, and it's pretty scary, honestly, is that there is no precedent for where we go with this. I mean, you can look at things that are similar, right? You can look at um, the radio, television, and you can consider that and be like, well, they didn't die out. They just sort of adapted and changed. So will YouTube be the same as that? Who really knows at the end of the day? I mean, you look back at it 20 years ago. Well, almost 20 years ago. I think YouTube's been going for about 18 years now. Um, and you sort of think it hasn't changed that much, right? It's fundamentally still just individual passionate creators creating content in various niches that people can then choose to consume and be a part of and enjoy and collectively vibe to. And so it's interesting to think about because it's like, well, then like I don't know. I'm just sort of thinking about it. I think it's interesting to think about because you do wonder, like, what will YouTube look like in 10 years, 20 years? I mean, I can't imagine it'll be super different. I can't imagine it'll change so drastically that everybody loses a job. You know what I mean? Like, imagine that. Like, there's a lot of people that do YouTube full time. A lot of people. And I think it would be kind of insane if they were just, all of these people, these thousands of people that do YouTube full time, and it's their only source of income, just suddenly were like, oh shit, we've all got to like go do something else. Like it would be a real big shake-up to just, I don't know, the world in general, the economy. Like I don't know, it would be so fucking odd. Um, and I don't see YouTube just crashing and burning, right? Like I don't think that's a reasonable way of looking at things. I really do believe that YouTube will continue for, as long as Google wants to make money out of it. Like I said, you look at radio, you look at television, like you even look at newspapers, they're not obsolete. It's about adapting, right? Like radio is not the same form it was when it was invented. Neither is television. You still have traditional television, of course, but it's, far more in, in the streaming world now. That's sort of what and I've noticed I say all the time. Actually, I haven't just noticed. I noticed it years ago, and I can't stop myself. If something's not scripted, I will just say as like a buffer. It's really annoying. If you want to do a fun drinking game, like take a shot every time I say in a commentary. You'll be dead. So that's fine. But yeah, I think all these sources of media, they just adapt, right? And I think YouTube is similar, but I don't think YouTube is similar in the sense that it has to adapt, right? Because YouTube isn't the one creating and producing. YouTube is just hosting the content. It's the creators that have to adapt to keep the site alive, and the incentive to adapt to keep the site alive is to keep, money coming in. I just said again. I'm not going to think about it anymore. People want to make money. They want to continue doing what they're doing. Like I do. I really want to continue creating content and putting stuff out and making things. And to do that, I need the money to live so that I can continue to create the things that I create. And so it's this balance of creating things you're passionate about whilst adapting enough that you're able to make money, so that you can keep doing what you love. It is a balancing act, you know. Because if I had to quit and go, you know, get a job to sustain myself, you know, I couldn't sustain myself through this through my YouTube work, then I wouldn't have the time to create what I create. I'd make fewer videos, like maybe like one a year, honestly, because as well, like when I have free time, I'm not gonna want to sit editing a video. I'm gonna want to go out and do something, you know. I want to spend time with my girlfriend. I want to, you know, spend time with my dog, see my family, you know, friends. Just relax, do a bit of gaming in my own time, you know. So like, I'm quite fortunate in that I'm able to make a living off of creating content. Which is funny to talk about if this is the first video you've ever seen of mine. You're like, how you have like 2 subscribers? Um, Hey, that's a secret, fellas. I'm tapping my nose in real life there. Um, but yeah, and I think for me, like adapting was a long process. Like you look at, you know, I took a long time to move from Assassin's Creed news into the content I currently do. And a lot of people, it's so strange. A lot of people always say, like, it's mainly people that hate me, right? It's mainly people that hate me. Will be like, oh man, your channel tanked when you stopped making AC videos. Heh, you think you're fucking better than us because you make content you want to make. It's honestly such an odd like criticism of me. I don't really understand it. People will do that and be like, oh, you know, you don't make the AC videos anymore. You think you're better than us. You're fucking because you make stuff that you're passionate about. You fuck. Like, I don't know. But my channel didn't tank actually. My channel does better now than it did then by a lot. Not every video will hit the algorithm, that's for sure. Some videos won't, but even when they do, it's better than it was back then. And I think people don't really remember that. I do because it was my channel. But you know, when I made an AC Origins news video, right? You know, if it was a big one, like a one that did really well, maybe it got 20k, 30k maybe views, and I was just fucking chuffed. I was over the moon with that. But most of my stuff, like a regular news video, regular update, a regular speculation video, got around 5, 6, 7,000 views. That was about it. And that was great. I was happy with that, man. I had 25,000 to 30,000 subscribers. I was happy as fuck with that. I thought that was great. And it was. And my views now are better than they were then, on average. You know, I get you know, that's just how it is. I don't know what to tell you. My channel does better now than it did back then. People don't like to, for some reason, people that don't like me will like get mad at that and be like, no, not true, but it is true. But regardless of that, it's not about numbers. You know, numbers for me is not a metric of success because when the numbers start to go down, and they always will in some cases, you start to see yourself as a failure when you're not a failure at all. And that's a huge shame because of the way people put value on numbers. But yeah, I guess, look, if you want to listen to more of me and Tyler talk about this topic, about the finality of YouTube and content creation and how it adapts and how it'll change, listen to the Clubhouse Revival episode, the Clubhouse Reunion episode, posted towards the end of July, start of June. That's not the next month, is it? August. Anyway, thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one, lads. Like, subscribe. Catch you later. Bye-bye.